My dear child, there will be days that would not feel right to you, and that is okay. Life has many phases, you do not have to love them all, nor do you have to pretend to be okay. And when you feel disappointed or hurt, you just have to make it through some of these phases one day at a time so that you can get to those that actually matter. But don't forget the lessons you learn through the hard some days. They may not be easy to accept or appreciate, but they will give you the wisdom and the courage you need to move ahead. So, my child, know that sometimes you have to let go before you feel ready, and sometimes the only way to find the life you are seeking is to be brave enough to hang in there. And even when you can't find the strength to do it. So remember, waiting is just the longer path to a new beginning, and please don't think that your slow days are a waste. There is progress that you cannot always feel or see, but it is still happening gently and silently. So, sleeping your journey and your life the way they are meant to be, and have a faith in that process. Trust that in the end, what is best for you will come out of it. My child, know that there is no reason to be afraid of being all by yourself. You are born into this world alone, and you go out of this world alone. At some point in life, you will end up being on your own, and if you allow yourself to enjoy solitude, you would not feel lonely. So, only you can feel the void in your heart, and nobody can do it for you. So you don't find yourself by being in relationship, and you find yourself by being okay with yourself. So you never know what it feels like to have a good relationship with yourself, and until you embrace yourself. So your aloneness does not make you less of a person. You are whole and you complete yourself. So you will never lack because you will always have yourself. So, my child, know that Source is working miracles right now without your awareness. So, trust that something magical is brewing. Never give up hope in the pursuit of your dreams. So, there will be days where it feels like everything is working, and days where it all feels like it is falling apart. So, surrender to the ups and flows of life, and have a faith that it will work in your favor. So, smooth seas never made a skilled sailor. When life gets tough, you are on the right path. So, your unwavering commitment to personal growth is generating quantum leaps in your reality. So, your persistent effort to grow every day will soon pay off in unexpected ways. So, you fell in love with the process instead of the end result, and now every moment of each day is a gift. You are becoming more conscious of the beauty that surrounds you, and when you celebrate the present moment, no matter what is going on around you, good things happen. So, my child, know that. Don't make decisions based on emotions like fear and doubt. They only distract and drain you into feeling incapable and send the wrong signal about your ability to create a way out. Don't trust them when you feel emotionally exhausted and relax. Use the moment to restore, rebuild, and regain your strength. So, knowing when to rest keeps you from giving up. Focus on gratitude to maintain your momentum. So, path will clear, and once you come to them, doors will open when you knock, and obstacles will be removed before you reach them. So don't worry about what you think might happen. Focus on what is happening and make the best of it. So remember, you are a powerful creator of solution, and trust that you will continue to receive divine support when needed. So keep going. So my child, know that. Find your peace in the pause. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you think, speak, and act while you wait. There will always be period of stillness in your journey to balance out the periods of movement. So fill this time with the most humility, faith, and love. Avoid complaining and wallowing in negative emotion. Instead, give thanks to the Most High for all of your beautiful blessings, past, present, and future. So focus on your inner light and the voice that keeps calling you to your highest self, and the wait is always worth it. So, my child, know that anxiousness will never change anything, but instead of being anxious, if you start believing your situation will change. When you look into the life of Daniel, when he was thrown into the lion's den, he did not worry or anxious about his situation, but instead he started to pray and believe that I will protect him. And when you look into the life of Joseph, he was blamed and was punished from accusations that he did not do. So he was sentenced to jail, and that could become a great trouble for him. Even in the midst of that situation, he did not worry or anxious about his situation. So instead, he started to pray and also believed in me. When Elijah saw the chariot brook gradually drying, instead of being anxious, so he started to pray about it and believed that I would provide what he needed. So, like that, when you look into the life of Esther, Moses, and David, they all had certain situations happen in their life, and that might have made them worried or tensed. But instead of worrying or being anxious, they all started to pray about their situation and believed in me. So, through their faith, I have blessed them and made them as the blessings and given a lot of blessings which they never expected. Even in your life, you might be going through some situation that is making you anxious about certain things. But instead of worrying or being anxious, start praying about it and start believing in me. So the situation may last for a long time, but if you hold your faith strongly and pray about it. So I will give you the greatest testimony which no one ever thought would happen in your life. So you know that I have a plan for everything, a plan to prosper you and to bless you. So instead of worrying or being anxious about the situation, start praying about it and also hold your faith strongly in me. My child, know that some things just are not meant to be, and I know that it is hard to accept for many of us who dream of a future together with. So, the person that we now have to leave behind, but there is no other way out of the situation that you find yourself in than this, you have to leave. So they have to go. You both have to accept that this was as far as your journey together was supposed to be, and you have to move on. Sometimes a relationship does not work out because you both deserve different things. Sometimes it does not work out because you were not right for them or they were not right for you. Sometimes it does not work out because you both need to heal, grow, and become different people. And if the people that you are meant to be are aligned, then you will find your way back to each other. And sometimes it does not work out because you can't be the best version of yourself with them, and they can't be the best version of themselves with you. And whatever the reason, rather than holding catch other back, gain the strength to let go. Gain the strength to move on, only then will you to be able to make room for all that is waiting for you. My child, know that, trust that some of your best days are still ahead of you. There will be events where you will laugh until 4 a.m. in the morning. Unplanned getaways where you learn more about yourself and the world than you ever did before. Conversations that will give you the momentum you need, and connections that will make your soul feel bathed in sunshine. Life will surprise you with its timing and exceed your expectations. Trust that some of your best days are yet to come. We are not perfect, we all make mistakes, we are also not mind readers. Disagreements and wrongdoings are bound to happen in any relationship. If something goes left, talk about it, have a conversation. Go to counseling if you have to, but don't take the person back and treat them according to their mistake or hold it over their head. Don't also take the person back to only put the bare minimum in the relationship. Forgive completely and move on fully, either with or without the person. And for the one who has apologized and acknowledged your wrongdoing, if the person does not accept it with their words and or actions, walk away. You were strong and courageous enough to bring to light your faults. And if they cannot appreciate that, then you were not worth it to them in the first place. Don't ever beg for someone's attention. You continue walking with your head up, and for every loss, God will always replace. That is the kind of God we serve. My child, know that. You are not them, you are you. You have gifts that can't be duplicated. You have your own luminous glow. You are irreplaceable, priceless, beyond comparison, but still you do it. Compare yourself to people who have something that you think you don't. You compare yourself in your mind so that they always come out better and you are always Ross, and there are days when you wish you could alter the core of who you are to be more like them. Funnier, smarter, more confident and charismatic, someone captivating, someone who lights up a room. But can't you see you carry a spark inside you that has the power to radiate outward and illuminate every space you walk through? You possess a magnetic pull that grows stronger when you honor your unique originality and allow your true self to be seen. But it does not matter if the rest of the world believes it. You need to believe it. You have to know in your body and breathe and every cell of your being that you are not too much or not enough of anything. And I hope one day you see that not being them, being you, that is your gift. So, my child, know that you cannot control the actions of others if they stop talking to you for whatever reason, even after you have apologized, acknowledged your wrongdoing. That is not on you. And it takes to make any relationship work. And if it seems like you are the only one constantly putting in the work after all of that, then that should be a telling sign. And it is unfortunate though, because once you are gone, and they have lost someone like you, and you are irreplaceable, and they will never find another good co-worker, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, and etc. If it terrifies you to lose yourself, just remember being whole is not about being fearless every step of the way. It is not that you will never stumble again or that you will always have your ship together. No, to be whole is to make peace with weakness, and that you are not a perfect human being walking on a straight path. You are flawed but worthy, scared but valuable. And growing even when you are in the mind, there is always room to start over, to change what you believe, and to accept new beliefs. Letting go is not necessarily burning a bridge or cutting a cord, it can be freeing yourself of what anchored you for so many years. It can be learning to live with what happened and realize your worth no matter how bad life gets. Remember that what stands in front of you is not permanent. Rain does not pour forever. Sooner or later, the clouds run dry. So, if you do not feel whole at this moment, if you are afraid because of what you have lost, remember that wholeness is not tied to a moment, it is not tied to what is happening in front of you. It is the sum of who you are from start to finish. From beginning to end, from door to door, because you are whole, and sometimes we simply forget that we are. But forgetting does not mean we lose who we are. It just means the road ahead is foggy, and moving forward may be the only way to remind ourselves of who we truly are. My child, know that you have cut people out of your life who no longer fit, and they are instead of pretending they still belong. You are no longer hiding the parts of yourself that others have trouble understanding, because you would rather be the real you than an artificial version. So you are embracing the pieces of yourself that you once hated because you are learning beauty comes in so many different forms. You are actively working toward healing, you are actively seeking out growth. You understand you are messy, that you are not always going to get it right, but you are gentle with yourself because you know you are doing your best. So, my child, know that there is someone out there and that will be inspired by your words. There is someone doubting themselves that will admire by your confidence, your action taking, and your progress. There is a human out there who you have not even met yet that you are going to love and who is going to love you. In fact, there is probably a few. So there is a future version of you who loves deeper, who questions themselves less, and who feels the sand beneath their feet and is not thinking of anything other than right where they are standing. And there are lives you will impact and lives that will impact yours. There is someone out there who is day you are going to change and days that will change you. You have not even scratched the surface yet. All of it is right there waiting for you to step into the next level of you. So, waiting for you to believe in yourself and everything you were made to be. So, my child, know that. Nobody is perfect. We have all been guilty of setting and or compromising at some point in time or another. Understanding the difference between your needs and your wants is what is vital in recognizing whether you are settling or compromising. So, compromise is choosing to accept that traits, issues you feel, and you can be flexible towards. So, because all other expect satisfy you, setting is compromising your needs, and when you compromise, you are consciously choosing to tolerate certain people, places, things, and situations to achieve and maintain a certain beneficial outcome. And settling is making do with less, compromising is accepting less of one thing in return for more of another. So, if you stay in a connection because you are too afraid of starting over, being alone, or that you will never find love like this again, that is not compromise. If your partner attacks you physically, spiritually, mentally, verbally, or emotionally, staying with him or her is not a compromise. So, if your partner wants to change you into something you are not, to make you give up your way of life, your beliefs, and your family. So, your friends or simply just does not respect what you have achieved in life or want to achieve, staying with them is not a compromise. So, if you compromise on something that is no fundamental to the way you believe, the way you feel, or self identify, then you are settling for something less than what you deserve. See the difference? And the choice of what you do and don't accept, what you are willing to accommodate, and what you refuse to deal with, and why is what really differentiates the two. And sometimes you have to make decisions that hurt your heart but calm your soul. And when you settle, your happiness is almost always at stake, not theirs. So, life is way too short. It may break your heart, but it will most definitely fix your vision. Sis, bro, do what is best for you. What do you want? So, my child, know that. Although you may have had to be loud, rude, or harsh in the past to have your opinion heard or to be respected by others, you don't have to do that anymore. People may have walked away or ignored you when you spoke about your feelings or you spoke your truth in the past, but people are listening now and they can hear you, and you don't need to shout. So you don't need to force your opinion to be understood or admired, and there is no power nor strength in that approach to life. So ultimately, what you don't address within yourself will continue to return to you, and just like a self addressed envelope, that letter. So, which contains your feelings and your truth, will continue to reappear in your life when and how you least expect it. So, in order for you to address it, process it, and then release it to the universe, you have got to let it go, and which you can do by continuing to process that which you have been avoiding. So now addressing things, including your pain, will cause it to continue to return to you. Face that situation and experience that you have been avoiding, and what you face and feel you free. So, my child, know that. When stop separately chasing people or controlling outcomes, peace washes over you. Not only that, support and solutions start arising within you. It is hard to starve the temptation of the ego to blame, complain, and lash out, but you have to constantly train yourself to be guided by your higher self instead. And when you are guided by your higher self, you are able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and practice patience as well as compassion. My child, know that there are two things I have learned about letting go. You either know you have to let go because that friendship, that relationship, or whatever it is you are holding on to is not working anymore and is not serving you and is not helping you grow. You know that thing is over or has to be over, but you just refuse to accept it and keep hoping it will change for the better. The second option is that you already know you have to let go, but you are too scared of being lonely. You don't know what will happen next, and you don't want to be on your own. You have to face the unknown. Now, here is the truth: letting go does not cause a void, it simply creates space for new things to come into your life, new people, and new possibilities. Letting go is a process, and like every process, it takes time. How long it takes depends on you and the type of relationship you had, or the thing you let go. But like every wound, it does heal and it will heal, and you will breathe. My child, know that it is in our nature to want to learn, discover new ways of being, and follow our curiosity to the ends of the earth. For many of us, that looks like optimizing our morning routine, productivity, practice team management techniques, and becoming better partners, parents, friends, and more enlightened human beings. The more answers you seek in your quest to develop your lifestyle and set of habits that brings the results you want, and the sooner you will recognize that there are limitless routes to reach your destination. And the spiritual path to awareness is the most personal endeavor one can take on, and unlike other area of self-improvement, proven strategies are not always the way to go. So you don't have to be a yogi, meditate in a cave for 5 hours a day, or explore every nook and cranny of spiritual practices. So it is more important to tune into what your soul calls you to do and exercise enough faith in your inner voice to put deep healing and emotional expansion and create opportunities to experience fulfillment. So, spirituality is part self inquiry, part self refinement, and a whole lot of guesswork. The deeper you go, the clearer it becomes that we are all navigating our own heart led experiences. And each heart will need something a little different. So, despite the importance of sharing what we discover on our personal journey to shed light on what is spiritually possible for others, and the expedition is entirely an internal. You can't mess it up. Keep asking your heart for what it needs and nourish your spirit in ways that speak most profoundly to you. Put one foot in front of the other and trust every step along the way. So, interestingly, the word spiritually relating to the spirit comes from the Latin word spiritus, which is the term for breath, representative of life. Perhaps spirituality is as simple and as living your life in the way you feel most enriched with vitality. So, my child, know that surrendering is the best thing you can do for your peace of mind in the midst of storm. I get it. And surrendering leaves you feeling vulnerable and makes you feel like you lost a sense of control. And I don't know about you, but I like to know everything. So I need to know how I will do this, when I will do it, and why. Not knowing any of the fives creates anxiety, but if I truly want God's best for me, I have to let go of the very thing that is keeping me up at night and trusting God that He will take care of my situation. I can say that it has been about a month since I surrendered, and although the situation has yet to change, I can wholeheartedly tell you that I feel at peace, especially in my mind, and every time that very thing bothers me again and I surrender it to God again. Surrendering is not a one and done kind of game. It is a daily thing. As much as you think on it, as much as you can need to surrender it. There is a lesson to be learned through your trials, and you pray that you surrender to God so that you obtain all that, and He wants you to learn and more. So, whatever you do, you are never guaranteed to have a good experience. Stuff goes wrong, stuff you can't control, but you can get something positive from any situation. So, that is on you. Life is unpredictable, never boring, and if you expect everything to go as you think it should, you leave no room for God to surprise you. Then the best gift God gives you will not be in your plan. Let go of wanting guarantees. Look for whatever God has for you. On to the next adventure. So, my child, know that. I know right now you are in this polarizing place where you believe in the value of love and you see all of its potential beauty. But because of your experiences in this world, because your heart has been weathered, you are also actually aware of the what it is, what if you fall for someone and they leave. And what if you place your heart into their hands and they cannot hold it? What if they do not love you back? But what if they do? So, what if you take that chance? What if you risk your heart? If you crash it into someone who genuinely inspire you and they choose you? What if they love you the way you always desire to be loved? What if they see you clearly and hug your broken pieces and back together and fill your life with the sunniest kind of happiness? What if they grow you and encourage you and teach you that love was always meant to be soft and that it was always meant to feel the way it feels when you are with them? What if they make you understand why it never worked out with anyone else? And what if they stay? And what if they do leave? What if the pain arrives? What if there does come a time where they cannot be what you need? And what if you outgrow one another? What if you evolve into two people who cannot beat the odds? What if love changes, but what if there is still gratitude? There, gratitude for the way in which they stretched your heart into what it ended up becoming. Gratitude for how they helped you to find clarity in what you strive to find in the next person life gifts you. Does that makes it any less important, any less rich? Does that make it any less worthy of being felt, of having the kind of depth and connection that might not last forever, but that breeds the kind of lesson and knowledge and hope that will? There will always be the potential for pain when it comes to matter of the heart. This is a fact of life, but we close ourselves off to potential pain without also closing ourselves off to potential awe. Potential joy, the cost of staying fortified and hidden away, is too high. It bankrupts you. You have to stay open. You have to take the risk. It is the only way the light gets in. So, my child, know that. Your desires are not random, your passions are not random, your talents are not random, your opportunities are not random, your interests are not random, your instincts are not random. They draw the blueprint of the person you are meant to be and the life you are meant to live. Your desires is a roadmap to the version of you who already has what it is you want. Desire is the key. When we don't had the call of deep desire, the things within us that genuinely compel and interest and consume and inspire us, not fleetingly but more intensely over a time, and we are then meet with fat sister, signal discomfort, the universe whisper until it screams, and if we learn to listen to the small voice telling us in any given moment of every given day what we are meant to do next. We end up buried all of the choices we made out of guilt, out of fear, out of need to conform to what is around us rather than reorient our lives to reflect what is within us. To honor our desires is also to be willing to do what it takes to make it a real, living thing. When our desires for something is strong enough and we became more and more willing to endure the discomfort often required to create and to sustain it. Desire is not the high we experience, and when we lose ourselves in our coping mechanism, it is not a passing feeling. Desire is the sense that we are willing to act even if we are scared, and even if we are exhausted, even if we are doubtful any of it will ever work out. Desire is a torch of faith. It asks us to defy reason and now fear, and it asks us to try again, to show up scared, and to keep going on until we arrive at the point where we know we are leaving behind a life, a legacy we can be truly proud of. Desire asks us to walk our way to our best, most loving, most selfless, most honest, most strong, most creative, most innovative, most hopeful, most positive, most powerful selves. You want what you want because there is version of yourself who already has it. The question is not is the possible, but rather who would I need to become in order to make it me. My child, know that conscious creation is not about forcing yourself to ignore your current reality and deny circumstances. It is about understanding that current circumstances are old news. They are a result of your old thoughts. They have zero effect on what is going to happen next. Current circumstances are only a result of your past thoughts and they do not dictate or affect in any way what can happen next. You can acknowledge them but without assigning any meaning to them or assuming they are obstacles. Dear God, my Lord and Savior Christ Jesus, you have proclaimed that if we love you, we will keep your commandments. To walk with you is to be free from sin. We must always be killing sin, dying to self, so that you could live thoughts us, help us swallow our pride, and to become more like you. Lord, bring us a newfound humility. Let the scales fall from our hearts so that we can keep our pride in check. Lord Jesus, mold us into humble servants and make us shelves unto the righteousness. Help us to follow you as I am follow their shepherd. In Jesus' almighty name, I pray, Amen. Father, so many divisions and disputes have been generated by issues, practices, and traditions that are not part of the fundamental of the faith. Your church is glorious unity in diversity, but when we measure on the minors, the spirit of factionalism replaces that of unity and peace. I ask for the boldness and courage to stand up and contented for the essential of the faith, even if it means a lack of peace. I do not want to compromise the truth of the gospel for the sake of peace, but I also ask for the graciousness to demonstrate kindness and tolerance for believers who disagree with me about this not essential. I acknowledge that there are some things that are not clear enough in your revelation for us to understand fully, but these are not the clearly revealed core issues of the faith. In all things, may I be loving and gracious to others. So, my child, know that. There will always be someone worth it, worth your time, your effort, your energy, your empathy, your forgiveness, and not only because of the kind of people they are, but because of the kind of person they let you to be around them. These are the people you don't have to protect within promises or love within rules. These are the people you don't have to stand before with guilty eyes, folded hands, or teary apologies. These are the people who choose to believe in your heart more than your words. These are the people who choose to love your chows or royally as they love your calm. These are the people who choose to stay and just stay. And no matter how close or far apart you are from each other, they will always make sure you fall asleep knowing just how grateful they are to have you, for the things you do love them and the things you do out of love for them, for all the emotions you voice and those you only ever feel in silence, for the mistakes you forgive and those that you barely ever count, for the love they see and the love they see you hide, for the person you were when they found you, and the person you are becoming as you find yourself. For everything that you are and everything that you will be ever be, they will only always choose you. Not every romantic connection is meant to evolve into a relationship. We will interact with many people throughout our lives, and some are only meant to occupy a short chapter. So it does not mean it was not an impactful chapter, but a chapter nonetheless. Letting go of that person does not mean we were not meant to know them or love them. When we appreciate and accept life in the way that it unfolds, we allow ourselves to let go of the idea of perfection, and as we are lean to look at life in a non judgmental way. And we find beauty in the imperfect, we notice peace in the chaos, and as a result, we nourish our soul and the world in a harmonious and loving way. So, at a times, it is difficult to see your transformation while you are going through it. So, it is only after you have broken through your shell that it hits you. You are responding differently, you are smiling deeply, money is flowing to you more easily, your relationships are improving or ending, and the lens in which you view your experience is adapting to your upgrades. This will be one of the biggest chapters to your evolution, and one shift at a time is altering your entire world. So, my child, know that. Be glad that your steps have led your here. Your dreams are about to come true, and this message brings in that life seems filled with promises now. There is a feeling of success as well as heightened sense of security in all areas of your life, and there will be utmost contentment in your life. Now live in the sweetest of clearing, a place where all is gentle and bright. Flowers are blossoming and hearts are rejoicing around you. And in this moment, the hard work of fostering healthy, loving relationships culminates in a sense that all is right with the world. In addition, looking from this vantage point of the future is glorious. You are all sharing the same beautiful dream and ready to take the next step together. The future may bring challenges, but you know together you can face anything. The world, this is the most promising card of the deck. This message signifies having the world at your feet, revel in your happiness, and celebrate your achievement. Have come full circle and everything it as it is meant to be. You have completed a major milestone in your life. You have faced the difficulties with resilience. You have gone through the trials and tribulations along the journey, which are lessons you learned along the journey. And you can also see how much you have changed. Now you are strong enough to face the challenges. Now you have finally accomplished your goals and purpose. Now you are a rhythm dancer in the joy of life. This message could also represent new world business openings, graduations, a marriage, birth of a child, and accomplishing long held dreams and aspirations. My dear child, have you ever been in love with potential? No, I have, and it's painful because it hurts to see so much potential in someone who does not see the same thing. It hurts to know deep down that you are in love with the idea of someone and not the reality of someone. Sometimes it's easier to see someone for how they could be over the person they actually are. I hope you know that you deserve someone who is everything you need, someone one who actually keeps their promises, someone who has more than just potential. You deserve someone who just is not someone who could be. My child know that to become like Jesus we need to befriend his emotions. If we admire and bond with Jesus the feeler, then it will help us put more value on the emotions that we and other people have. We can do this through meditating on the Gospels and participating in love one another, relationships in the body of Christ. Connecting with the emotion of Christ help us to feel and convey His presence in our conversing, praying, playing, and working. So it will help us to clothe ourselves with the compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience of Christ in the Bible. Jesus demonstrates the full range of human emotions and express them in perfect. If you read through the Gospels, you will see example of Jesus experiencing emotions like anxiety, anger, shame, sadness, pain, surprise, hope, faith, love, joy, and peace. Each offers a mirror to help us to verbalize our own emotions and receive Jesus' empathy. Our feelings can be pleasant or unpleasant, healthy or unhealthy, but they are not sinful in themselves. Unless we include them nursing a grudge or losing temper at someone. It is always helpful to be aware of and understand our feelings, even if they are inclining us in a sinful direction, and not repress them or deny their existence, but admit or confess that we have them like the plasmist does. Emotions are natural, healthy, and they can even be a source of wisdom. And if you learn to feel your emotions, it will soften your heart for the grace of a deeper experience of Jesus' friendship, the Father's love, and the Spirit's presence and power. So, this ability to mentally move from things as they are to things as they thought to be is one of the most important discoveries that man can make. So it reveals man as the center of imagining with powers of intervention which enable him to alter the course of observed events, moving from success to success through a series of mental transformations of nature, of others, and himself. So it reveals man as the center of imagining with powers of intervention which enables him to alter the course of observed events, moving from success to success through a series of mental transformations of nature, of other, and himself. So, my child, know that. And if you are lucky enough to find love again, allow yourself to fall into it fully. Allow yourself to feel everything that you might have felt once before but had forgotten. Allow yourself to let someone that close again. Allow yourself to experience something your heart gets excited about, and you deserve to be excited again. Despite how scared you might be, know that the greatest risk is not taking a chance on someone but allowing fears to dictate when you don't. So let yourself love because you deserve it, but more than that, let yourself be loved. I hope you always remember that and know that you deserve that. And if ever you need that reminder, know I'll be here. Let someone adore you and admire you and make you feel like you are one of the best things that keeps happening to them. So, because you are, not everyone is lucky enough to find love or find a way to keep it. So, when you do find someone who makes you feel that sort of way, like you are the only thing that matters, hold on to them. And when you find someone who makes you laugh and smile until your face hurts, hold on to them. When you find someone you can see yourself building a future with, hold on to them. And keep building and rebuilding and fixing if you have to. When you find someone who takes the time to memorize you like you are the beautiful and map, knowing every mark and scare within your body and the stories of how they got there, hold on to them. And most importantly, when you find someone who is both the comfort of home and the excitement of your greatest adventure, hold on to them. So, this is your person fall into love like is the easiest thing because it should be. Fall into love like it is the only choice you love. Fall into love without fear because the right person will always catch you. So, my child, know that. Remember that not all profound feelings stray. Reading a beautiful chapter in a book, watching a movie that holds your heart in one scene, or just eating lunch with your best friend in school. These feelings hold your heart while they are around. While they may now be somewhere in the past and not make you feel warm, you still remember the spark. And some people in your life will be that beautiful chapter, that scene from a movie or that little cozy lunch, and you will remember them on different junctions of life. You will remember them for how they had your heart with them while they were around, and like every story held a warm, special chapter in yours that you can't flip back to. So just be thankful while you have something going on, life which potentially holds your heart. So, it could be your work, your friend, someone you love, or just a little stroller moment. Hold it a little longer, and you are going to want to remember it for a long time. So, my child, know that. Studying about Hagar and the situation she was put in, if you are not familiar, in Genesis before Abraham and Sarah were who we know them as they Abraham and Sarai, and they could not have children. They prayed, and God made a covenant with Abraham in Genesis is that he and Sarai would bear children. In verses 5, it says, Then the Lord took Abraham outside and said to him, Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That is how many descendants you will have. Even though God made this covenant with them, they became impatient. Sarai had the idea for Abraham to sleep with her servant Hagar so that through her servant they could have children. And in chapter 16 of Abraham sleeps and Hagar, and she becomes pregnant. As soon as this happens, Sarai treats Hagar with contempt. She mistreats Hagar, likely out of a place of jealousy, and it gets so harshly that Hagar runs away. So this leads to me where I have been studying. The very first appearance of the angel of the Lord is seen here in Genesis 16 when he appears to Hagar and encourages her to go back. That is doing so she would not be blessed with a many children, and that Hagar's son Ismail would have protection and a blessing. God saw her in all the mess. He saw her attempts to run away. This family complication arose out of disobedience to God. He told Abraham and Sarai that they would have many descendants, but through their impatience, they disobeyed and did not trust what God said. Love how the first time that the angel of the Lord appears, it is to a woman, a servant in a lot of ways looked at as less than, and yet God shows up right to where she was. So, such a powerful message from our Creator that He sees us, He is always with us in the mess. And if we are willing to submit and repent, we can go forward confidently and boldly bringing Him glory in the mess and love this part of Scripture. My child, know that. We all have those days where doubt, second guess, and fears tend to become a bit of a runway train. Sometimes they appear to come out of nowhere, and you wonder why and how when you have been doing so much to increase your own vibrations and move through things. Don't worry, it happens, and when you realize where your thoughts and feelings are leading you, which does not help to achieve what you set out to learn, then it is time to let that inner hunter out to track them down. And the thing is, the more you become aware of them, you can alter their course. You have the internal power to transform and eliminate them. The thing is, the more also by being mindful of that, what your fears and doubts are also helps you identify what you need to work on and the key elements which are holding you back. So, my child, know that emotions are not one size fits all. They comes in all kinds of shapes, size and expressions. Sometimes our emotions are all consuming. Other times we barely even notice them. And sometimes we feel alive, joyful and optimistic. Other times we feel depressed, depleted and uncomfortable. Regardless of how your emotions feel, it's important to remember that your emotions are not bad. To judge your emotional self as bad is not reject yourself. So it is to turn away from the compassion of Jesus. Instead, if you feel your emotion and verbalize them in prayer and to an empathic prayer. Friends, it's like receiving Jesus' soft and strong hand reaching out to help you. Perhaps the most outstanding characteristic of God that we see in Jesus in his compassion, which is empathy and kindness. For instance, in the Gospels, we see Jesus' compassion is expressed in offering him hospitality and blessing in every person he met. To feel your emotions helps you to receive Jesus' compassion, that in turn strengthens you to offer compassion to other people. So, dear someone, know that. I am motivated by the woman I am becoming. My vision is clear and I am doing the behind the scene work, working on my energy, aligning it with who I desire to be. And I am embodying the energy of the woman I am becoming, noticing the fear as it creeps up, the anxiety and self doubt, acknowledging the fear and befriending it. So, witnessing it fade in background, something the self doubt, telling myself over and over that it is normal to be scared because it is. Becoming her is new territory for me. It's a place I never have been but have been desiring from after doubting that it was ever for me. Now I know that it is possible and it is doable and it is only a matter of time. So, my child, know that. I want to be a child again, to feel my toes dance without fear of judgment, to embrace life without a shudder of what is to come next. to not be chastised to my appearance or what I have, and don't persist to see a world where others' opinions were not important except my own, and where their spiteful words never took hold in my head. So, when the outward source of validation I'm so used to searching for never existed, I want to be free from the weight of expectations they lever over me. I want to acquire the power of trust within myself again. I lost my palettes of vivid watercolors from childhood and rinsed my fingers with the bitter gray of adolescence. I wish to regain what has strayed. I wish for my innocence back. I baited, but I will think always be depending on someone else to remind me that I'm here, that I'm real, alive, needed. I live in dreams more than in reality. I cannot distinguish between the two, call it naivety, wishful thinking, or bizarre stupidity. My dreams meow, I am and while like an empty stomach. At 24, I still have the heart of child with a body that grew up a first time is a blur. I have space, decades fighting to hold up the sky, and never my sky, but the sky of those around you. Always a little at last, in the making, open up and see. You will find roads, place I could not go, and hence I could not touch. I'm here, I'm tell myself softly, for my own ears under it. My covers from the corners of the every step I entered. I'm here as long as they need me. I'm here as long as they can fix them, hitting my superpower, oppressed by brush burdens, laid over battle wounds, console given free of charge. I'm fine, better than opposed. I learned how to perform, how to become necessary in discipline indispensable. I look in the mirror and say, here, girl, here, catch your scraps laid down. Straight turning 25 soon. And I'm still here, needed, present, whatever still we never learned through what it feels like to know I'm here and wanted and worthwhile and enough without my child know that. And Adam said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. And the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of water, then I will pay for it, and I will only without doing anything else go through on my feet. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Adam came out against him with much people, and with a strong hand. Thus Adam refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journey of from Kadesh and come unto Mount for. Type yes if you have faith and trust in God, and if you want your all wishes comes true, type amen. And if you like this video, please do subscribe my channel for more encouraging God wisdom words.